regarding post-COVID nutrition as well. So what is long-COVID? You know, we'll explain first, and why? What do you need to do in order to overcome it? So why would you overcome?
Okay. So, actually, do you guys know? Do you guys know what is long COVID symptom? Or do you have anyone besides you who is positive before? Or do you know what are the symptoms like, and do you know their experience during the whole process? So if you have, then maybe it will be more familiarized to you. So it's nothing. I believe COVID-19 is not something new to everyone. So most likely you will have a little bit here and there. Okay. So this is a summary of what you will experience.
Yeah. Okay. So for this long-COVID thing, right, you need to see what actually happens. Like, so very commonly that after people get COVID, what symptoms are like Qhouse, for example. The most common is on the nose pipe, and the respiratory tract. For those part, people will have runny nose and all like flu symptoms, and they have sore throat, and then you have difficulty in breathing until that extent, and that is the most severe part. Yeah.
So actually, for long COVID symptoms, it simply means that you still develop symptoms after you have recovered, after you are detected negative, but you're still having those kind of symptoms like what Ron mentioned. Okay, so next slide we show about an animation on how the virus can be spread. Okay.
This is SARS-CoV-2. It belongs to the family of coronaviruses named for the crown-like spikes on their surfaces. SARS-CoV-2 can cause COVID-19, a contagious viral infection that attacks primarily your throat and lungs.
Yeah. That's all.
I thought I kicked through.
Okay. So as you guys know, actually, the symptoms and the signs and symptoms for COVID-19 is actually very, very common, and you won't know it until you do a antigen test or PCR test, right? So, what are the symptoms like? Yes. So, sneezing, blocked nose, like what Ron covered just now, coughing, sore throat, high fever, body ache, loss of appetite, diarrhea. So, all of these symptoms are quite common, right? So, you won't know you're actually COVID positive. In the old days, if you have these, what will you do?
Medicine.
Yeah, see doctor, whatever, or herbal remedies, whatever. So we'll go to that as well. So it's actually quite common. So actually, if you see doctor or you go to hospital, whatever clinics, they will just give you medicine just to cure symptoms, right? Or after a few days rest, you feel better and you recover, right?
Yeah, it's because actually for COVID, there's no specific medicine or elixir that is specifically to cure COVID. But what our doctors doing, I have one mentioned, just to cure whatever symptoms you have, try to slow it down or try to make you feel more comfortable, feel better, so that when your symptoms actually treat that's all. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then. Okay. Huh?
Okay, yeah. So that when the symptoms actually get cured off, then you are also getting cured from COVID.
So it's being at the end of the day still based on your own immunity, right?
Yeah.
So you recover yourself. So all of those who got positive, they don't recover overnight. They need some rest, and they must be doing something, taking something to recover faster compared to using people, right? So after that, they are cured. Why they are cured? Like I don't know why they are cured. Just because their immunity has succeeded in the war, fight against COVID-19. So what is your action plan? What are your action plans after you get COVID positive?
So what do you normally do when you get COVID? People in the Zoom can actually comment as well. Post on Instagram, yes, so that's one of it.
Yeah, and you spread the virus in in social media.
Then everyone will start to see you doing day 1, day 2, until day 7. Yeah, I'm done.
Isolation.
Yeah, and then throughout all the days, what you post, like you be posting, okay, first day you can't be because I have friends. People say, there's a doctor in Korea saying, if you don't get COVID now, you don't have friends. Okay, so first thing you're happy, they get it, and second thing, what you're going to post, like you're going to see people start sharing, hey, what are the remedies so far they take in this period too, you know?
Yes.
People will start giving them a lot of different kind of medicine and remedies. My imam, and my auntie, uncles, my friends all give me this, give me that. So you'll be seeing that. So what are the things that people usually do?
Actually, this one, yeah, you're very right, because during this kind of condition, most of the people will see reviews. So these are live testimonials, live reviews.
Correct.
So when they come to pharmacy, they actually don't ask for my advice. They will come with a list. This. They
And they already want it to all this.
So it's actually like you are doctors to the community actually, because you went through it. So so those common medications are actually covered here as well. Okay, herbal remedies, whatever like bronzer, or candies, lemon, honey, whatever stuff you add. Coconut water, whatever. What do you call that? Bitter gourd.
Yeah, bitter gourd.
So
everything to help you clear all the heat, clear the toxin, things like that. Everything you just take.
Yes.
Yeah, you just try everything.
So there's one thing that I think is Panadol. So you can see most of the pharmacies out of stock for Panadol, whatever range. You just stock it up, just in case you get COVID positive. Okay. Sore throat, lozenges, throat spray, and cold patches for fever. Those cool fever, bye fever, some hot cakes, and cough mixtures. Certain brands will stick to certain brands because different viral. Runny nose medication also, antihistamine, anti-congestant also went out of stock. Only for certain brands, okay? Even I recommend other brands you won't want to get also. So this is how powerful social media and live testimonial is. Okay? And relative neighbors, friends, suggestion based on, so whatever they say is actually overriding of the suggestion or a suggestion. So it's quite powerful in terms of live testimonials. So these are the pictures that you guys will be very familiar with, because these are those common products in the COVID-19 list.
Would people bring that to show you that they want to buy?
Some yes, I experienced. I've encountered one before. Yeah, so I need to go to that. So these are very common remedies that most patients will get.
And actually find that people usually recover. Yeah, they recover. I think mostly it's because after 7 days the infection would be already lesser. And then you actually for me, personally, I feel like after you take all these medications and remedies, you won't really know which one actually helps you.
Yes, because you just take multiple products.
Yeah, you just like try out everything, all up already, then okay, then suddenly recover. I don't know what happened. So we continue to recommend people what are we actually. I take all this, so we take all this done. Yeah.
But some people, even if they are positive and they have a lot of symptoms, they don't take all of this also. They believe that if they drink enough water, they don't sleep enough, then they will get recovered. Some yes, some no. So the concept behind this is if your bodies are under a war, so and you're not supplying your body any materials or weapons, how your body gonna recover faster? So the concept is like this. So that's why if you have severe symptoms like you can't breathe and now you are in the hospital, what do doctors do? They will also just treat your symptoms and make you feel better and breathing machine to help you breathe so that you won't die. They don't cure you also, they just treat symptoms just to monitor your vital signs. Okay, so they also give you in hospital. They also give you this kind of medication to make you feel better also. So you definitely need something to support your body. And this explains why some develop a lot of symptoms, some don't, because they don't do it right during the 7 days.
Yeah, during the process of recovery, you need to do it correctly. So that is why some of us I wouldn't say why some of us. I would say that some of us after we recover, then we still have like prolonged symptoms. Like one of my friends have still have sore throat for months, I think 2 or 3 months, okay, continuously. But even if I ask him, hey, what would you do to so-called avoid this thing? But I don't think anyone that they will know like, hey, what to do exactly during the whole period. And that is so today what we are doing is just to share to you what what the action plans and what are the things that we can offer that it really helps in boosting your immunity and also to cure the symptoms. Yeah.
Yeah, although now COVID-19 has transitioned into endemic, into pandemic, but it's still quite contagious because kids below 12 they still don't get vaccine, right? Below 12. So even below 10, 5, yeah, below 5 to 6 people get, and my house has a baby. So if you get, then nothing you can do much, especially those under 2 years old, because this kind of medication they can't take because they take Panadol. So kind of risky for them. So still, although it's in endemic phase, we still have to be more cautious also. Okay.
So next, we're going to show you first how does the human's immunity work. Also, this is going to be a very quick video to illustrate to you. Okay.
You're in line at the grocery store when, uh-oh, someone sneezes on you. The cold virus is sucked inside your lungs and lands on a cell on your airway lining. Every living thing on Earth is made of cells, from the smallest one-celled bacteria to the giant blue whale, to you. Each cell in your body is surrounded by a cell membrane, a thick, flexible layer made of fats and proteins that surrounds and protects the inner components. It's semi-permeable, meaning that it lets some things pass in and out, but blocks others. The cell membrane is covered with tiny projections. They all have functions, like helping cells adhere to their neighbors or binding to nutrients the cell will need. Animal and plant cells have cell membranes, only plant cells have a cell wall, which is made of rigid cellulose that gives the plant structure. The virus that was sneezed into your lungs is sneaky. Pretending to be a friend, it attaches to a projection on the cell membrane, and the cell brings it through the cell membrane and inside. When the virus gets through, the cell recognizes its mistake. An enemy is inside. Special enzymes arrive at the scene and chop the virus to pieces. They then send one of the pieces back through the cell membrane, where the cell displays it to warn neighboring cells about the invader. A nearby cell sees the warning and immediately goes into action. It needs to make antibodies, proteins that will attack and kill the invading virus. This process starts in the nucleus. The nucleus contains our DNA, the blueprint that tells our cells how to make everything our bodies need to function. A certain section of our DNA contains instructions that tell our cells how to make antibodies. Enzymes in the nucleus find the right section of DNA, then create a copy of these instructions called messenger RNA. The messenger RNA leaves the nucleus to carry out its orders. The messenger RNA travels to a ribosome. There can be as many as 10 million ribosomes in a human cell, all studded along a ribbon-like structure called the endoplasmic reticulum. This ribosome reads the instructions from the nucleus. It takes amino acids and links them together one by one, creating an antibody protein that will go fight the virus. But before it can do that, the antibody needs to leave the cell. The antibody heads to the Golgi apparatus. Here, it's packed up for delivery outside the cell, enclosed in a bubble made of the same material as the cell membrane. The Golgi apparatus also gives the antibody directions, telling it how to get to the edge of the cell. When it gets there, the bubble surrounding the antibody fuses to the cell membrane. The cell ejects the antibody, and it heads out to track down the virus. The leftover bubble will be broken down by the cell's lysosomes, and its pieces recycled over and over again. Where did the cell get the energy to do all this? That's the role of the mitochondria. To make energy, the mitochondria takes oxygen, this is the only reason we breathe it, and adds electrons from the food we eat to make water molecules. That process also creates a high-energy molecule called ATP, which the cell uses to power all of its parts. Plant cells make energy a different way. They have chloroplasts that combine carbon dioxide and water with light energy from the sun to create oxygen and sugar, a form of chemical energy. All the parts of a cell have to work together to keep things running smoothly. And all the cells of your body have to work together to keep you running smoothly. That's a whole lot of cells. Scientists think there are about 37 trillion of them.
I think this is quite clear, but it explains all about our immune system.
So mostly it's on the front part. So basically, on the body detects virus, then it will actually start to do things. And that is how vaccination works as well. Because when you do vaccine, you actually keep puts in the replica so that your body responds to it.
Yes, it's like a trial for your body, so your body knows and recognizes it. That's why you develop symptoms like cold, sore throat, because all of these are your body immune response to the virus. Whatever virus, not just COVID-19. Okay.
Okay, so other than those remedies and medication that you get outside, so what are we going to recommend to you? And so what do we suggest? And this one, not only we suggest to people, but also what we take personally for myself, actually, I have close contact with people who has this COVID positive. Yeah. But for me, I tested myself like after that, like for continuously 5 days, because I feel that it's quite impossible for me to not get it, because I'm very, very close contact with the person. Yeah. So throughout these 5 days, what I do is I keep continuing to drink this thing called the triple booster. Okay, I drink like 3 sachets every day. Yeah. And I keep on having sore throat every day. I was thinking, how come I have never been cured from sore throat for continuously 5 days a day? Yeah. And then I keep on testing myself. I'm still negative. Yeah. So so in my mind, I think it really, really helps me. So I don't really take all those other remedies, because for me personally, I don't really trust things on social media that much. I see a lot of fancy things, but I don't really do it, follow them. So I just take this, and yeah, it really helps. So this is what I recommend to my friend as well. So my friend, they have COVID, they have COVID, so they text me, because I posted it on the story and social media. So they texted me and they want to try. So I let them try, and they actually give a good feedback after they try this. Really helps them in terms of not just their symptoms, but also they feel more energetic. And yeah, this thing. Okay, so what is triple booster? Just introduce it. Has 3 main components inside, 3 main ingredients. So the first thing is turmeric. Yeah, turmeric has a curcumin extract. Yeah, and second, very good for anti-inflammation and also the respiratory health. Second thing is ethyl cherry, which is a vitamin C. So this thing is super high content in vitamin C. Yeah, compared to you just taking vitamin C alone, take this like it's a one whole package. And the third thing is licorice. Licorice, it's very good in Chinese, very traditional herbal remedies and helps also in this inflammation. Yeah.
Okay, so why we use these 3 combination but not 2, but not these 3? Because we've done studies on this based on the combination of these 3 ingredients, and it really proved that it can stimulate your immune response. That's why we have this product called triple boosters. And specifically, the hero ingredient in this product is which is yellow ginger, turmeric. Turmeric. So turmeric is actually a very ancient herbs used by Indians. Back in the old days, they just I mean, if you go to Mama in their cooking, they use a lot of turmeric as well.
Yeah.
But turmeric, the thing is with turmeric is, because some people might say, I always take turmeric also, but I use fresh turmeric and I cook in my cooking. But the problem with turmeric is the absorption is not there. That's why you can see some people they take turmeric, they tend to eat with oil, cook with oil, or eat oily food. But if you cook it with high heat, you actually damage the ingredient also, the active ingredient also. That's why we need to have certain technology to extract it to become so that it's easier for us to absorb and to take every day. Okay. And also in Amway, in Sri use this microencapsulation technology to like package each of them the ingredient with the powder, so that our body can easily absorb. So this enhances the absorption by 70%, and that's why when you take this product, you can feel the difference. If you take the product without your body absorbing it, but I believe yourself will know until you experience it, right? I believe it's effective or not. So with these kind of studies and figures, we are more confident, because when I got COVID positive, I take this product as well before and after I tested positive. But for the first 2 days, actually most of the symptoms is gone for myself, so I feel quite okay. Just I feel a bit tired, but first 2 days, sore throat, runniness, and all this is gone.
Yeah, and one more thing about this product, just to directly tell you one line. So this product actually has come out during COVID time, which is 2 years ago, 2020, and it was research and done by Amway Center in China. Okay, so that time China was the first first country that gets COVID, right? Yeah, imagine that. They purposely research this product out so that it actually helps in those symptoms regarding COVID. So they tackle COVID with their symptom with this product. So that's why you can see the reporters they purposely do this report and research and testing. Okay. So whichever when my friend asked me about this product, I will say this product is totally good for symptoms and related to COVID, everything, including the breathing part. But we don't say that this is a cure. But like just now what we mentioned in the first part of the presentation, COVID is related to our all the symptoms. How can you actually treat the symptom? How can you actually slow it down? This product can actually do the whole thing. That's why we first product. Okay? Yeah. Second thing. So this is Double X. Double X is actually a multivitamin, multimineral, and plant concentrate. So this one, we put it as a basic supplements and basic nutrition for your daily life. This one is so more like a pre-COVID. I don't say you're not getting COVID, but people or like normal days now. Okay, this one actually adds on vitamins, adds on the necessary nutrients to your body, and also it has a high antioxidants because of the plant concentrate.
So yeah, Ron is right, because double X multivitamins just basically completes our daily diet, just to make sure our bone health foundation is strong enough. In case we get sick, whatever COVID-19 or not, we will still be able to recover faster than normal people. Because if you've got normal common cold or flu, usually 3 days to 5 days you recover. Some 5 days, some 7 days, some 3 days. Why is the difference? Because some have better health foundation, some don't. That's the difference.
Yeah, and then also I see just one thing vitamin D in this advice. Actually, the vitamin D actually helps in COVID. Yeah. So how do you actually explain this?
Actually, vitamin D is actually quite common. In Asia, we don't have this kind of deficiency in vitamin D. But yeah, vitamin D is a very strong antioxidant vitamin for our body. So for Asia nowadays, you don't use that go out because in tropical country usually we don't short this kind of vitamin. As long as you go in the sunlight half an hour, you'll get enough vitamin D. But now we tend to stay indoor. You go to work before the sun comes out and you go home after the sun goes down. So you can see don't have enough. That's why we have vitamin D supplementation nowadays. And this double X is multivitamin. Of course, it has this essential vitamin also, the basic that we need. Because we can't make vitamin D also, we need to go under the sunlight so that our body can make ourselves. Okay? And zinc as well. Zinc is has an antibacterial, antiviral property. So if you let's say if you have acne also, you need zinc for recovery. For if you have wound, you need zinc also. So basically it works as a antiviral antibacterial. So if you got sick, you've been infected, COVID or not, it will still help.
Okay, so the next thing is vitamin C, which is vitamin C. So vitamin C is very common vitamins that we take for ourselves. Even though we have a normal flu or cold or any sickness, the first thing you think of is the supplement vitamin C. Okay, so and just depends on what kind of vitamin C and which brand that you take, right? Yeah. So for Nutralite, so what is so special about Nutralite? First thing is it is 8 hours release, so which is a slow release formula. So you take it, the vitamin C will release slowly. Okay, so it won't be like normal vitamin C. After you take, you will just do you know that vitamin C is water soluble, and if you take too much or your body doesn't need it, it will just drain it off.
Yes.
So the thing is the same when you take no vitamin C. If you take too much, then the body will just drain it off and waste it. But for this one, you will release slowly in 8 hours time. So you'll be using the vitamin C like more efficiently.
Okay, so there are a lot of vitamin C products in the market. Okay, so like what one said, some give you instant release, some give a high dose, but you don't get to absorb so much at a time and go. That's why sustained release is very important, because you need vitamin C protection or coverage throughout the day instead of just in the morning, right? So those kind of vitamin C give you a boosting effect, but it will last long. And vitamin C, this vitamin C give you 8 hours, so better coverage, longer coverage. so you are protected throughout 8 hours. And also it is acid free. So those with sensitive stomach won't have a problem taking this product as well. But of course, this product is because it's something you need to follow it. You can't chew, you can't crush it. If you crush it, you lose the sustained release effect. So the way to go for vitamin C for myself, because I want fast release and also sustained release. So myself, I will take 2 each time during the time that I was positive. One I chew, one I swallow. So I get instant and full release at the same time. So I get both up. So this is how you can play around with taking vitamin C. And this is a very common supplement. I believe most of us is quite familiar with this product. So that is vitamin C. So know how we take this one, especially when you're positive, just to treat the symptoms of just to treat the symptoms. Just make sure that you feel better. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the next is protein. Yeah, so protein is we recommend you to take it as a basic supplement as well. But it might not make too much difference when you have COVID, but this one is a basic foundation for you daily. Okay, one bit. And next one is omega-3 fish oil. Yeah, fish oil we known as good for anti-inflammatory property.
Yes. So for myself, when I'm positive, I take omega-3 as well. Because omega-3 not just only for brain, not just only for cholesterol health. Okay, it also good for your immunity also, because omega-3 itself by nature it has very good anti-inflammatory effect, which means reduce inflammation. Okay, so if you have when your body is affected with virus or whatever COVID or not, you will be highly inflamed. Your body has high inflammatory response, and so you need this to reduce it so that you feel better. For example, like what is inflammatory? Like when you fall down, your swollen limbs, muscles, and all right, hot to touch, So these are the inflammatory response. So if you have this omega-3, that which means you feel better, you feel the pain too much. Yeah. So this is how it works in COVID case.
How about you?
For me, I take 6 a day with the period.
Wow.
Actually, for omega-3 maintenance wise, it's 3 a day. Maintenance wise, that's the basic. Of course,
6 wouldn't be that much. Too much.
Yeah, it will be that much.
Only have COVID break. Carol, I pray so take 2 a day.
Oh, maybe
Wow.
so take 1 to 2 now.
Yes.
So it's okay. Our dose is standard dose, so not
Okay.
high dose. So you can take even. I would say max is up to 10 for normal individuals.
You mean like normal daily intake? Not the COVID.
Not the COVID thing.
Okay.
I mean that one, if you have 100%, up to that. There's another topic.
Okay.
But for now, 3 is minimum, whatever. First 3 is minimum. Then if you need more, if you're sick, you can take double the doses you can. Okay. This one triple guard is also very, very important. After triple
After we get
after triple it's also a very, very important product in immunity. So this triple guard is actually a plant. It's a herb supplement also, and this is clinically proven to boost your immunity. Same like same. So you take both differently, and you take both. So this triple guard, the dose, if you notice, the dose of this triple guard compared to other branded phenolphthalein, this is actually quite high dose. So you just take 1 time a day, each time 3 tablets is sufficient already. 1 time only, take 3.
1 time 3 tablets.
Other products their dose is lower, you take multiple times. So not so convenient for you. So this is the convenient part because high dose one, so easier. So this one you take when you feel feverish, feel like falling sick, you have cold symptoms, you can take also. So it's actually very, very effective. Myself also take this one during that period. Not just COVID, before sick, you can just take also. Mainly to boost immune system or bio-infection. Okay.
Okay, the next thing is probiotic. And why not eat probiotic? Because probiotic very important for the immunity. Okay, because we say immunity actually starts from our gut. Yes. Yeah. So this probiotic has 5 selected strains. Yeah. That helps in this creating the good bacterial environment. Yeah. And also it has technology that when you get past to your stomach and also gut, yeah, the bacteria can reach safely to your stomach and to your gut. into account. Okay. And another thing is COVID. One of the common symptoms that we have with COVID is what? Diarrhea. Yeah, correct. Diarrhea. So our probiotic actually helps a lot in so just very common. Okay, I would say let's say if you're just having simple diarrhea, not COVID related, yeah, so actually take probiotic, it will help to relieve already. Yeah, so probiotic not just adding on immunity, but also helping the diarrhea symptoms. Yeah.
And not all probiotics are created equally throughout all the brands because probiotic, if a good one are not whatever brand you see, if a good one, definitely more than another one. If you see a cheaper one, then you know the effectiveness might not be there because probiotic is a live bacteria. They need to survive until your stomach to be absorbed. Otherwise, if it die, it can't survive through your stomach acid. It's actually pointless for you to take the products. Okay. And probiotic, when you see, you need to look at the strain, like what one said, strain. So what's the difference between the strain and the type? A different type. Just like durian is a type. I give you durian, let's say 10 kilos, very cheap, but this is just normal durian. Not those good species also. Not Maosang. Don't know what brand, what durian.
Like, you know, when say I can think of something like out in the market, there's a lot of cultured drink, a lot of yogurt drink. Inside also has bacteria.
So those are like durian, not the different durian, but they can tell you what difference is that. So if they say, oh, this is different by something, of course the price is higher, and this explains why some good probiotic the price is higher. Because probiotic itself is not cheap one, or whatever brand you go. So so our if you look at the labels, it will tell you what strain. Those numbers that you don't understand, like lactobacillus, B21, those kind of numbers, those are the IC. So specific strains. And pathogen got probiotic lactobacillus, but they tell you what strain.
Yeah, they make another list.
Yeah, but they tell you, so they want to drink.
And that's why the price also is more lower if you drink those yeah, and also very high sugar.
Because their target my audience is kid they need sugar so this kind of product all no sugar one, so kids also can take probiotic, it's quite safe, no problem. Kids also can take. Okay.
Okay, so the next thing is garlic and licorice. So garlic and licorice are also one of the things that we recommend to take to boost your immunity if you have COVID positive. And so this one helps to clear increase the immunity and also helps to fight the bacteria and the infections. Yeah.
Like this one also same thing I said as the turmeric. We eat the garlic and we eat garlic. So we can just eat garlic now without the garlic supplements, right? Yeah. Because garlic, if you cook, then the active ingredient in the garlic that works will be ineffective, deactivated.
Yeah, you mean you cook?
If you eat raw, yeah, can, but it's very spicy.
Yes.
So it will cause irritation to the stomach. So the spiciness of the garlic is actually the active ingredient. So we need that.
Yeah. And in order for you to get the active ingredient from the raw garlic, you need to really chew it very, very properly. Like every bite of it actually comes out is the active ingredient. Yeah, because once another pharmacist explaining this, the active ingredient is actually in the cell of the garlic that you need to actually really break it so that you chew properly so that it will only come out. But how many garlic can you take? Even one clove already is very spicy.
Yeah, and you will have also other different spicy. Yeah. If you don't have, you can chew. You like it? Bad breath.
Yeah, but seriously, I actually see people. The mother actually give the son coffee. Garlic chew. Sorry. Okay.
Garlic.
What I say is not the garlic, the real garlic. When the son actually gets COVID and the mom every day give the son one whole bowl of raw garlic to chew.
Wow.
Every day. And when I hear this, wow, so consistent, and the son actually take it one.
And just
yeah. And then he really do until he recovers. Like, wow, okay. Okay.
Because of that, right, faster recover.
So there's also take one this garlic, so very convenient. Yeah.
So the last one would be clear gut. So this one is mainly for congested nose. You have runny nose, you have blocked nose, you have cold and flu symptoms. You can take this. And this one you take only when you have symptoms or you feel like you're developing the symptom and take. So maximum take for 2 weeks. maximum 2 weeks. If you feel it's not helping after 2 weeks, then it might be other stuff. Then you check out stuff.
Okay.
So this one, the main ingredient is Acelera. If you see Acelera means it's vitamin C. So because you want the vitamin C content, Acelera, because it's highest, that's why many products use Acelera as the raw ingredient to produce vitamin C. Okay, and cinnamon.
Not orange. Okay, orange. I didn't see what pictures are. I got see in the vitamin C slide, but we did actually.
Okay.
The vitamin C.
I think orange for vitamin
Yeah, this
C.
one.
Yes, you can
You see the small corner down there. For people here, you can see here. For even the slide in the Zoom room, you can see the corner below right hand side.
So there's an equivalent amount of food that you take to have the same dosage of vitamin C.
Yeah, of one table of vitamin C here, you need to take equivalents to 7 oranges actually.
Yeah.
How much is 7 oranges?
I think one is more than enough.
Yeah. And but the one good thing is you have a lot of fiber so that we go to toilet very smooth. Actually, we did this video long time ago that we actually take this. Yeah, we squeeze lemon, we squeeze okay, we didn't squeeze 16. Honestly, we squeeze about 4 bg already, cannot tahan already.
Yeah, this is also why a lot of people recommended to take lemon juice with honey to cure.
That's vitamin C.
Yeah, so if you take vitamin C, you can actually substitute that. If you do that, of course, it's better on top of that. But if you take vitamin C, it's equivalent to 16 lemons really.
Yes.
You have done the basic. So if you want,
quite expensive, okay.
Yeah.
one lemon and 2 ringgit.
So you want to take raw lemon or raw garlic, up to you. Okay, joking. Okay, take the supplements easier. That's what supplements are at home.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so
back to this side.
yeah, so this is one the supplement, the substitute for your block nose and tooth for cursor. Okay. Okay, so these are supplements that we recommend during the normal days. You take at least you boost our immune system, maintain as maintenance. Okay, so when you are so unlucky you are positive, so these are the additional stuff we need to do to cure or treat the symptoms. So whatever we share just now is just to treat and cure symptoms so that you won't develop long-COVID symptoms. You use the tendency to get long-COVID symptoms. Okay.
You can get all this, but outside the brand.
Okay. Yeah, I actually explained along the way about the difference between the brand, and if different brand, then you need to study. You need to find the expert behind the brand to study the labels and to understand the brand reliability. Because this, if you say same ingredient or around the same ingredient with different brand, the price range can be from less than 20 to 50 bucks to $100 also got. So it really depending on your preference, whether you trust the brand or not, and this is very important. Just for some people, they just stick to certain brands. They don't want to switch brands. Skincare also, they know other brands, a lot of fancy brand out there, and many good reviews, but they just stick to one brand. And so this is why I need to have the confidence towards the brand itself, the brand image, and very important the reputations. Okay. Yeah, because Nutrilite they use own farm, own Nutrilite farms, and we own organic farms and company farms to make their own products.
Yep.
So this is also one of the very, very strong point behind Nutrilite.
Doesn't burden kidney, no side effects.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So the last summarize our sharing.
So
This is an invisible war. Viruses are everywhere. The only thing to do is protect yourself and your loved ones. Turmeric contains curcumin that is widely known for its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Licorice contains the active ingredient glyceric acid, which has antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. Acerola cherries have vitamin C, which help boost the immune system. All three hero ingredients aid respiratory health as it converges in a traditional meets modern and East meets West health drink. A complementary booster with on-the-go convenience. add it to your favorite drink, or drink it on its own. Build up your immunity with a burst of botanical and herbal ingredients in a delicious citrus flavor. Simple sachets that pack a punch. Neutralite Botanical Beverage mix acerola with licorice and turmeric. Triple booster for better airways.
Okay, that's all. Thank you. Okay. So you pass to the MC.
Oh yeah, thank you. MC.
Okay, thank you so much, Aiden and Ron, for the sharing. Really learn a lot from them. And also, if you want to prevent to get COVID, please take Neutralite. Okay. So that's all for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone. And also next week we have a